buns, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a little while. I haven't been doing as well with my vlogging, and I'm sorry. I apologize. I hope you guys can forgive me that I have not been as consistent, but I've got some good excuses. I do. Right, Keela? Right? As promised, I was going to do a vlog on my recent Vegas trip with the husband and our friends. I did not vlog the trip because the friends that we were with, they're not big social media people. So I just kind of filmed bits and pieces. So just in respects of them, I wasn't gonna have a camera in their face the whole time. Most of our friends and family here in Montana are not big on that stuff, so that is one of the biggest reasons why I haven't been vlogging as much, just to respect privacy. Some of you like to use social media, but you don't like to just constantly be on it or be in videos or pictures. So we'll just get right into this Vegas trip. This is the first time that we've traveled since the shutdown happened across the world. So our trip was just kind of like one of those last minutes. Our friend's 30th birthday, we're like, what are we gonna do? Let's go to Vegas, why not? It was very interesting to say the least, because just how much things have changed, how times have changed. Overall, it's just like, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you have to work with what's going on in the world, and just being respectful of other people, the guidelines that are put and the rules that are put in place. A lot of us are pro-mask, a lot of us are anti-mask. I don't like masks. I would rather not wear a mask. I'm just being respectful of what's in place right now. We all still had a great time in Vegas, regardless of the things that were closed, the things that were limited, having to wear a mask. We just made do and made work with what we had, because it's like, we're not gonna go on this trip and just be in a negative mindset the whole time. I would have to say 95% of people were wearing masks and were following the rules and the guidelines. And then there was the few that weren't. Staff, security, people were very actually nice. If you know, granted, it's a learning curve with everything. So sometimes if you're eating or you're drinking something and you pull your mask down or pull it up or whatever the case may be, and you forget, it's not part of our lifestyle, especially if you're home a lot, you know? And they're pretty cool about it. They were just like, you know, hey, can you pull your mask up? And we'd be like, okay. We pull them up over our noses. So people were just, everyone was pretty cool about it. Everyone just kind of made jokes about it, and we're just, you know, just helping each other out and being respectful of each other. The airports, businesses, other things they have a lot of things in place now. So they have signs, they have plaques, they have people regulating, just making sure that people are just being aware and being conscious of what they're doing and how they're doing it. You know, airports, the airports are very strict and very on top of it. So, but it honestly, it's just a matter of keeping your mask on, washing your hands, you know, and then if you're sick, you know, like not going anywhere. So it's just little things like that. It's not that complicated, and we overcomplicate things. It's just a simple, like, making a few little changes here and adapting to them. Getting to Vegas, same thing, all the casinos. Outside, a lot of people would take their masks off if you're just walking around, but most people did have their masks on. It was 113. It was one of their hottest weekends, so it was like 113 degrees. So when we were outside, we did have to take our masks off because it was too much. I like to take our masks off outside because it is 110 degrees out here. Hey, there's our ride. Let's go steal them. Get on it, babe, go. There was dividers on like the tables, like the poker tables or blackjack, any of those. There was dividers on those. They did have hand washing stations everywhere. They had provided masks for people if they didn't have them. Ours were open, restaurants were open, some businesses weren't open. It was kind of selective. Clubs were not open, so those still remained closed. But I think most everything opened July 1st. And then the pools were open, but again, they always regulated staying 6 feet apart. Tables were usually no more than 5 or 6 people. So for us, we did a lot of lounge areas. So where we just went into like one of the bar areas inside, you know, because there's a lot of bars and little lounge areas inside every casino. So we just would like chill in, either if we weren't gambling or just walking around, we would be in these lounge areas. So you'd be sitting there, and a lot of people did take their masks off if they're in their little section. Some people still left their masks on. I think Friday night they ended up, because I guess they had people going through kind of like spying in the casino areas, seeing if everyone was following the guidelines, and when they realized some weren't, they decided to shut down all the bars. So if you walked up to a bar to order a drink, all those were shut down. You had to actually order them from a waitress. They did shut anything out that didn't serve food. Those were shut down. So we did experience that. We still made it work. Then we had the pool area. We ended up getting a cabana, so we had our own area, and then they required masks everywhere except when you were in the pool. So apparently with the chlorine and stuff, they said, like, I don't know, they said we didn't need a mask. So, but they also made sure you maintained 6 feet apart from everybody inside the pool. And then, but it wasn't as busy as I was expecting it to be. I think when the last night, Saturday, when we were there, it did start getting pretty busier. There was a lot more people than there was when we arrived on Thursday. Saturday night, we were trying to find a place to watch the fights, but because only certain places were allowing 50% of their capacity, so they were filling up really fast, and it was by reservation and obviously limitations, so everything got booked up really fast, so we didn't have a place to watch the fights. So we ended up kind of like running around Vegas trying to find something to do, but a lot of places were booked up and full. So we just made it work. We were just like, just having fun with it. I mean, what can you do? Overall, it wasn't that bad. I mean, again, it's your perspective, and everybody's perspective on the situation is different, and we just have to be mindful of that. Because there's going to be one person that is going to be a little bit more, they're going to be paranoid, they're going to be concerned, and they're going to follow everything to the T. And we can't just disregard or disrespect those people just because we don't think the same way as them. We all need to kind of meet each other in the middle and be on the same page with the situation. So we just need to be mindful and respectful of each other, and everything can be great. We can have a good time. It's about coming together and getting through this together. When we were in our rooms, we didn't wear masks at all, obviously.
What's up? Can a player get in your good?
And then when we would take pictures or something we were doing, obviously pulling down, drinking, eating, whatever it is, we weren't having our masks on, and then we'd put them back on. So we would be a little bit rebel in that way. The masks that me and Nick were wearing, we just got from Target, and we got the extra large, so it wasn't as tight on our face, but it still covered our noses. So for me, especially because I know a lot of you girls were asking about, doesn't it rub your makeup off? But I got one that was loose enough that it still covered everything, but it wasn't tight to my face, rubbing on my face. So overall, I didn't have that issue with it rubbing on my makeup. So the other thing that I noticed too is how clean it was. They were on top of sanitizing and cleaning, and I mean, it was pretty unreal. I've been to Vegas a lot, and I've never seen Vegas as clean as it was. Like, crazy. So I think there's a lot of people are trying to do their part, so we just need to do our part as well as when we go visit and we go do these things, and just being, again, mindful and respectful of everyone else and these businesses around us. I always wash my hands, obviously, going into the bathroom, leaving the bathroom. I wash my hands before eating. I don't touch my face after I've been touching things. And then people do use hand sanitizer. I have not used hand sanitizer. It's been years and years and years. I personally I'm not a fan of hand sanitizer because it dries my hands out, and I hate dry hands. So that was one of the reasons why I never use hand sanitizer. So I just make sure I wash my hands. And then of course, just being healthy, eating healthy food, staying hydrated, and getting sleep, doing things like that will help keep your immune system healthy. The things that I practice on the daily that I share with you guys on my social media platforms. For me, I still had a wonderful time. I had a great time. Nick had a great time. All the friends, all of us, we had a wonderful time despite everything. So again, it's all about your perspective going into whatever it is that you're doing. So hopefully that just some of these this explanation and these tips can kind of help you guys get an idea as far as traveling goes. It was pretty easy going. We didn't run into any issues other than just people reminding us to, you know, staff or security reminding us to cover up our nose if our nose wasn't completely covered, or maintaining distance depending on where we were, what we were doing. But overall, I just felt like it was pretty much the same. I know a lot of you guys do have your concerns, and a lot of you do have your fears, and a lot of this stuff gives you anxiety. It really, when it comes down to that stuff, it's up to you. If you don't feel like you're gonna be okay traveling and going to these places, if you're not gonna completely enjoy it, I just say not do it, because if you're just gonna be paranoid the whole time, then you're just not gonna enjoy yourself. The way I look at something like this is, regardless of what's going on in the world, we do have choices, and we are allowed to do certain things. So it's like, keep living your life. Don't stop everything just because of what's going on. If you can still do certain things, I would do it, because we only live once. We only have one life. So it's like, it's just one of those things, is like, try to enjoy it to the fullest. Even if there's changes, even if you have limitations or restrictions or these things that are going on, you can still enjoy life. You can still enjoy what you're doing, and not be living in fear or panic. And I just feel like a lot of social media really does that to people. They really try to instill fear and control people with that. I've been in the social media world, doing social media, working with different people. I've been in it a long time, and I see what happens behind the scenes of what really gets put on social media. So a lot of times you just have to really take things with a grain of salt and do your research, experience things for yourself, to really understand and know what's going on. So and I feel that's how I've learned things over the years, is not always just believing everything you see or you hear. It's like taking it upon yourself to experience things and to educate and to research a little bit more, versus just believing exactly what's thrown in your face. Just something to think about. Again, just being respectful and mindful of everything that's going on, and still enjoy your life. All right, so now with that being said, I got my eyebrows microbladed. So Neezy Baby is the girl's name. So she has owned her company. She's been doing it for a long time. She's like one of the original microbladers, I guess the best way to explain it. She runs her businesses out of LA, Sacramento, and Vegas. So this is my third time going to her, and the first time I did microblading, the second time I did ombre powder microshading. So the microblading, you know, is the hair-like strokes. This one obviously is the more shaded, so it's filled in. I like the ombre powder and the shading a lot better than the microbladed, so then it's like I don't have to do my eyebrows or do anything with them. And I have like no hair at all, never have in my entire life. My hair is very blonde as well. So until I started doing my eyebrows, I didn't really have eyebrows. And then I started filling them in, and it was just a pain in my butt to try to do them every day. So then I did the microblading. I have a video on that I don't know how many years it's been. And the first time that I've done them. So this last time lasted me about 2 years. My girl, she even said, she's like, they held up really well, because I think you have to go in for another touch up or something. It's like after like a year, you have to start shading them in, because certain parts are a lot more faded, and so they weren't as even. The appointment only took 60 seconds because we already had kind of that base. She just made sure she measured everything and leveled it up. She did numb me too as well. It didn't hurt at all, but everybody's pain threshold's different. Even the smallest prick might be painful to somebody. I have a pretty high pain threshold. It didn't bother me at all, but she did numb. And if any of you have ever gotten tattoos and that vibrating feeling, that's basically the best way to explain it. It's just like that vibrating, but you don't have a lot. It's more like thin tissue and then the bone, so I think that helps. It's not as painful, or if you don't feel it as much. In the healing process, you're just not supposed to get them wet or put makeup on them. I think it's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So right now I just have to kind of work around it. They will start peeling, I think, within the 1 to 2 weeks. Again, you just let it do its own. I don't have any makeup on my eyebrows, but it's nice because I don't have to do anything. One step less that I have to do. And it's nice, especially when you're going swimming and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about your makeup coming off, because I have experienced that, and that's just that sucks. So she's amazing. I would highly recommend her. Pricing can vary anywhere between $500 and I think $1,000 depending on what you want and what you're starting from. After that, the touch-ups are just way less. Definitely worth it if you want eyebrows. Otherwise, don't even worry about it.
Look at those fresh brows. Yeah. Looks good though.
I hope you guys found this video helpful and some tips in there for if you're traveling. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was good to see you guys, and I will see you on the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah!